Okay, as usual, let's pause the game and let me rearrange this because it bothers me. Sold top. First, I don't even fucking know. I'll see. Let's. You know what lanes you have, so let me just see what lanes you have. I'm not sure which one of them is going where.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions
I still
spawn.
don't fucking know. Please give me an indication.
Minions
So
have
Triss
spawned.
top. Okay, so this game is Tristana top versus Aurelia. Ignoring how retarded you must be to pick this champion top lane. This is a pretty shitty matchup for Tristana because Aurelia has a point and click dash onto her, and she has much more damage than Tristana does. At best, it'll be a tough matchup for Tristana, given that the Aurelia knows what she's doing. The other thing is Tristana's not known to be like extremely strong. And there's no way in hell she's going to be able to match the Triforce spike that Irelia is going to have. Furthermore, if you gank this lane, it's pretty hit or miss whether or not you can get your lane ahead. And then from then on, it's very unlikely that you will be able to get your lane snowballing on this Irelia unless you come here like 10 times. Tristana's 10-0. And even then, that would be a tremendous waste of time compared to the average other lane. The mid matchup. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. I didn't fucking sneeze. The mid matchup is Soul versus Zed. So, Soul has some kill pressure on Zed, but Zed has more kill pressure on Soul. And I don't know if you want to gank someone as mobile as Zed is, as Hecarim. Because you rely on positioning to get behind the enemy and knock them towards your team, right? If Zed W's and you like E into him, and he can reposition himself using his W so that you knock him towards his turret instead of towards your turret. And while Soul does have some CC, I don't know if this would be the best gank to pull off. So this one is gankable, but only if Zed has burned his shit and or is all-inning. Top lane, would not recommend. Let the bitch farm up. She gets behind, she gets behind. Bot lane is Leona Jinx versus Vayne Thresh. So Vayne Thresh is a bitch to gank, but you have one of the best engaged supports in the entire game in Leona. You also have a Jinx. 1 second. Sorry, what? Yeah, well, I don't concern myself with trash. You have a Jinx whose setup pressure is mediocre. She has a slow potential E if she's in melee range, which she shouldn't be in. But she snowballs extremely hard. A fed Jinx will take over the game by herself. Because of her passive and whether or not she can get rolling from a single kill in a team fight, it gives her like unparalleled mobility. On the other hand, they have a Vayne. Now neither Vayne nor Jinx is strong early, but with a Leona, you really want, and the fact that both Jinx and Vayne scale super hard, and that one of them put behind is pretty much useless. This would be a lane I would want to camp this game. Partially because of Leona, and partially because these two lanes are like fucking autistic to gank. As for the jungle matchup, you are versus Rek'Sai. She has slightly more early pressure than you. However, once you hit your Triforce spike, you will be a little stronger than her. But she's going to hit a spike earlier because most Rek'Sais are going to rush Tiamat. And at that point, you probably can't duel her. In the first few levels, your dueling is pretty subpar anyway because your abilities are like pretty much are more AoE than single target. Your Q is really good at taking stuff like Hecarim is really good at taking something like Raptor Camp. He's not so good at taking something like Grom, because his Q does an AoE around him instead of more damage on a single target. In most situations, you will not want to dual Rek'Sai. Yeah, that's about it. Uh, You don't have to fight her. Like, she can go onto you, but you can probably run away with E-Ghost. It's perfectly fine. So let's see how you play this. Okay, that's probably fine. Drop blue. Full clearing. I don't see that many gank opportunities early. Okay, here I would. Oh my fucking god. Never mind. Here I would back immediately. Yep. That's exactly what I was talking about. Okay, now you definitely don't want to go top or mid. So bot it is. And you're going straight bot for reasons I don't know why. Like, this lane is positioned in such a way that going into this is extremely dangerous. Not only because your Jinx is completely and they're both at, the lanes are both at like somewhat even health, but the fact that they're pushed under tower, and Vayne has a condemn, which is like a fucking massive cockblock. It's a pain in the ass to deal with. The other thing is Thresh. You don't want to tower dive a Thresh early when he's like trying to fucking kill, because he can just hook your ass into the tower and he'll kill your ass. So, I think, oh god. Oh, I can't believe that worked. Alright, 1 second. So I think this gank was questionable. Yeah, I think you would have been better off just farming here. Yeah, it's fine, just kind of clear. Probably Raptors in back, because you can't take. Oh my god. You probably won't be able to take. Oh, Rek'Sai stole your shit. Okay, at this point, you would probably predict that this is gone too, because she spotted you bot lane. And right here's the moment you want to back immediately, because you know that Krugs are probably gone, but you do have the information that Rek'Sai is topside. Like, if I had to bet, she would be on one of these two camps right now. Probably Grump. Let's see if I'm right. Whoa, okay. She did that a lot slower than I thought she would. But yeah, these are gone. When one of the camps is gone, it's pretty unlikely the other one's still gonna be. Oh, you actually spot her. Yeah, it's kind of a waste of time. It's a little bit of waste of time here, but it's like 50-50 whether or not you might check the romp, check the Krugs in this case, because sometimes the enemy jungler will only have time to come in and steal one, and they'll back out, or sometimes they'll steal both. It's like a 50-50 on each one. Like, you run the risk of either wasting time or leaving up a camp. So let's see, at this point you are level 5, she's level 5, you've got roughly even CS. You're probably doing fine compared to... There's not too much of a difference compared to you two right now. But you path towards... Oh my god. Okay. Well, you've got nothing to do, so I guess this is okay. How much XP are you at? Yeah, you are at this point pretty behind, because you showed bot. This is the type of punish that junglers will do to you. You show bot when it's an unlikely gank, and while you potentially save the lives of one of your students, you lose time on these camps, and you lose 2 camps out of it. So now you're really, really behind in XP. You're about a level behind where you should be. What? But you know they saw you, right? Oh, fuck it. Go on Thresh. Go on Thresh. Thank God. Okay. Now you full clear. Okay. Now just full clear. It's... this is an okay call to do Dragon. But you do know that Rek'Sai is here. And your team's not following up, so just full clear. Let's see what you do. You do Dragon. Let's see. As soon as... If Zed starts to rotate over, I would say start to peel off of it. But he is not. Oh, he is. Wow, that was lucky. That was super, super lucky. Holy shit. Okay, here... This is another reason why I didn't think Dragon was a super good idea for you to do. Because what happens here is, you took the Dragon, right? And you got the Dragon out of it. However, the cost of doing Dragon is a shit ton of your health and most of your mana. What you're forced to do now, after this fight in which your guy dies probably, yeah, after which your guy dies, you go 1 for 1, but you can't clear anymore. Like, it's best to just straight up back when you're this low. Yeah, I think you should have backed and then just did your entire full clear. I actually don't know whether or not you should complete Stalker's Blade before going straight for a Triforce, but I'll allow it. So I don't know that much about Hecarim, dude. It's probably... Oh god. This cunt. I hate your guts, you piece of shit. Like here I would just ping your laner's back. Oh my god, she's actually retarded. And then I would predict right here that Rek'Sai is hovering around bot side. Because you spotted her here, and she was heading down. Like, if I was her, I would clear a few camps and then go bot. So, this is a somewhat gankable position of the lane. But I think, like, for that's even more reason for you to be here, right? Because, yeah, see, Rek'Sai is over here now. It's not that hard to predict from Rek'Sai being right here and her movements down that she's going to be in bot side. Like, that's what most junglers would do. And that's even more reason for you to rush down here, which is a good decision at this point. Even though you did see her. Okay, so I think I would, What the fuck am I watching? Yeah, you're fine to just back off. Real autistic gameplay. Ooh, that's really fucking unlucky, to be honest. Please get him. Holy shit. Please kill his ass. Okay, good job. Good job. You push it in, just back. It's too risky to go for a counter about this low health. Right here, just back. Straight up. I do not agree with this decision. You have to be, when you're low, like super low, you have to be so incredibly cautious with your clear that it's much more worth it and time efficient, basically, to straight up back and then do all your camps afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna ignore this bitch for now because you're Tristana. But the reason I would discourage this is not only because you have to take super extra care to not kill yourself on the camps. You also have to be careful. You also like mess up the respawn timings unless you go for Gromp, unless you clear from the opposite side, which is a pretty good way to do it. But what you should not do for like future reference, not saying you did this or anything, but do not do this where you do Krugs and then you back and then you immediately go Raptors, Wolves, and then fuck, I'm brain dead. Gromp. You do not go these 3 camps immediately after backing and doing this one, because if you back after this one, then you will come here, you will do this camp, and then there will be a pretty big gap of time before this camp spawns, and that's a little bit more inefficient than you would like. So let's see what you do. At this point, I would still be putting all my bags in the bot basket because you've established that this thing right here is completely retarded. Your Jinx is 101. She's not super ahead, but this is definitely a snowballable lane if you come here. And at this point, I would still encourage camping the shit out of this. I don't know whether it's a good idea to fight Aurelia, whether it's worth it. But I don't think you have the damage to kill her. Wait, she made a huge mistake. Oh, Rek'Sai's. I can't believe that worked. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't think you should have come here, period. Regardless of whether or not it worked. Oh my god. Okay, leave. Leave, give it the tower. And their
Blue
bot
team
lane is
double
starting to turn
kill.
around. This is exactly what you did not want to happen. You do not want Vayne to start popping off. Because she's, like, so fucking terrifying. And because you have a Jinx who was slightly ahead. She was definitely not weak. But if you would camp this lane, like, more, you could have stopped this from happening. And this Jinx would probably be like 5-1 by now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Full clear ward dragon back. Can't contest it. Don't do it. Actually, Rek'Sai is not there, so I think you should go for this. Oh. Ooh, you overextend. That's unfortunate.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Okay, the instant you hear that noise, you should leave. There are a few things wrong with you trying to take this ward. You know they're right here. You are at like 25%. And they know you're here because you were spotted on a ward clearly. And you turn around. Okay, that's like 6 different mistakes by you. Oh dear. I don't know why you're bot side right now. Like I think you spawned and came directly bot side, right? There wasn't really a point because you knew that they would back off. I think it was highly unlikely they would overextend and stay long enough for you to respawn and then come all the way back and have all your team members here to back you up when you engage it. I do think, however, you should be just farming these 3 camps again. Because I don't want to touch her. She's got a full Triforce. That's fucking terrifying. Compared to your Tristana. Yep. Come here, kill 2 tunnels, so they know where you are, and then put a ward here that's not really gonna do anything. Dragon's gone. There's no one gives a shit about this dragon right now. They just took it. If the dragon was alive and you were thinking of having a team fight around it, then yeah, this would be a decent choice. Because you would read the map and come down. But you are like a minute late in doing this. You got the scuttle out of it in the time that you could be doing multiple camps and or helping your team take turret. And this invade I think is very questionable because you are completely alone. And Zed is 4-2. And if Rek'Sai pops up, you might straight up die to her and Zed right here. Okay, yes, you should be going straight here. Ignore the ward. No one gives a shit. You should be coming here. Yes, okay. Clean up. You clean up. That's probably fine. What you should not be doing is going up here. You should probably, like, at most, trinket this bush, and then 4-man push this down. Hit the tower. Just kill that bitch. Alright, that's fine. And now you leave. Okay. For this one, I would say clear this, yes, push it in a little bit. Raptors to top. Because this top, your purpose of going top here wouldn't necessarily be to kill her. The The purpose of you coming top here is to defend your tower because she's gonna get dove and she's gonna die because she's got a full Triforce and she's level 11. Yep. Yep. This is kind of a pointless invade, isn't it? Like, you have this really weird habit of invading at weird times where you go in completely alone. Like, Aurelian Soul's over here, like, cleaning up the Aurelia, and he does. And then one of them does. I don't fucking know. Was it you, actually? No, right? So he kills her. Yeah, he kills her. And then your Jinx is dead, your Leona's over here, and your Tristana's dead. You're like completely alone over here. If Zed is anywhere nearby and you run into her, they can kill you super fast. The other thing is she's hit her power spike. Well, she's gonna hit another small power spike when she gets a Titanic, but her spike here is larger than your incomplete Triforce power spike. Also because she has completed jungle item, which is pretty efficient, and you don't. Yeah, you don't really get anything out of that. You Ghost E for that? You serious? That's 40. Okay, oh my god. She should kill you, right? Okay, I don't think they played that very well. Wow, she's actually not gonna die then. This is really fucking weird to watch. Yeah, these camps are all up again. They haven't been taken in a while. Your farm is starting to fall off. You're at like 19 minutes and you're still level 10. And Rek'Sai is also level 10, but that's not something you should be proud of, that you're equal to their jungler. Like, you're 5 and 2. You hit this massive spike after you back, right? But you're 5 and 2. You're 4 kills and an assist ahead of her. You should not be the same level as this Rek'Sai. You should be so much more ahead of her than you are right now. But that's only reflected through gold. You're not like pressing your advantage enough, I think, or farming well enough to maintain that lead. Now, the EXP lead is also worth quite a bit. And you're wasting that lead because you are an equal EXP with her. How much XP are you at? Yeah, you're basically the same EXP as she is. So I call this the clusterfuck and the terrible decision. Play it like a fucking god. Oh, she's really bad. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is the mother of all clusterfucks. Here you back, you take his entire jungle, you push out mid, you go to dragon. You get like a third of the tower health down, right? Because you stay here the entire time and you smack it with your dick. But it's gonna regen. These things have regen. And you are no longer able to take this without it being contested. And you haven't set up for the dragon well enough so that your team can come over and you can take it quickly. Or you can team fight well. Also a note, in the team fights now, you should probably be shitting all over the Vayne, if you can, because she can't E you out of your ult, and because Aurelia's gonna dive past you, it's gonna take way more than you have to peel her off, and it's also super hard for you to peel Zed. So your best option in team fights is probably to go for Vayne. and see what you do. Oh, at this point, you should have called your team over, because Dragon is about to spawn. What dragon are you at again? Okay, you're at one Cloud Drake, they're at one Mountain. Now the enemy team is positioned around here, such that Aurelia is mid lane, Zed's coming up, Rek'Sai is probably over here taking our Raptors, and Vayne is in bot lane. Your team, however, you have Tristana doing your Raptors, because you haven't done this in so long. You have Leona dicking around next to the tower, and these two are here, but they really need to come over. Also, yeah, they're taking your camp set because you haven't taken them in a really, really long time. You see Zed too. Rek'Sai's right around here too, you know? Yeah, so there are 4 members in this immediate vicinity, and 1 over here. 1 pretty strong member over here. This is going to look like a dragon fight, and you probably should have dropped a ward on it while you had the chance. And this fight, Vayne is left pretty much in the mode. Actually, Soul's going through. Your Soul is doing so much damage. And she's playing really bad. He's playing really bad though. That's inhib. This isn't Baron, good at your level, it's definitely inhib. Everyone's retarded.
Blue team triple kill.
Oh my fucking god.
Blue team double kill.
Yeah, I think it's a Baron throw. Well, that's highly fucking unfortunate. Also, again, look, you are 6-3-5 to his 3-3-7, and yet you're below level. You are now below level. You have not farmed in so long. Like, you have decent like farming early, like in the early game, and then once you hit mid game, your farming falls off really hard. I haven't seen you take a camp in a really, really long time, and now you're starting to fall behind the enemy jungler. And the Baron throw is really, really bad. But to think back on this game, I'm probably not gonna analyze the choices past this, but this lane was the most campable lane you had, and I guess if you had camped this lane really, really hard, like come up behind them whenever you had a chance, you probably would have been able to stomp this game harder than you are right now. And now, briefly, let's take a look at what Rek'Sai should have done. What Rek'Sai should have done in this game was sit her ass top and repeatedly kill Tristana. I know you're not a Rek'Sai player, but it's a good habit to get into the mind of the enemy jungler, assuming they're half decent, and thinking what they're going to do. So the reasons to camp top for the enemy jungler of this game are Tristana is extremely weak in this stage of the game. Aurelia snowballs like a motherfucker, and Rek'Sai can cancel Tristana's mobility. You can actually knock her out of her W. And camping top is going to create an actual useless Tristana, like even shittier than she is right now, and an absolute monster of an Aurelia that can destroy everything on your team, basically. She can one-shot Jinx, and she can just chip out Soul during the fight. There's no one who can stop her, really. On the other hand, mid, it's okay. It's like the same situation for both of you, where it's an okay gank, but it's not going to be spectacular. It's better for him, though, because Soul doesn't have any mobility that he can really use to escape. Bot is also similar for both of you, because Thresh is also really, really good setup, and you want to get a Vayne snowballing against a weak laner, which is Jinx. But the huge difference in the decision making for this game would be him camping the fuck out of top and you camping the fuck out of bot. And this would usually lead to him vertical jungling his top side and you vertical jungling in the bottom side. But it did not happen in this game because this game's a total clusterfuck. What you need to take away from this game is consider more which lanes you want to put a lot of focus on because you didn't really put a lot of focus on bot this game, I think. And you have to take care to always be farming and not let your farm fall off, which it has at this point. 70 farm at 23 minutes is really, really low, especially because you have decent strength. You're 6, 3, and 5. You get you do well somewhat in farm early on, but you kind of get careless at this stage of the game and it starts to fall off. Alright, that ends my analysis for this game.